Have you ever heard of the lion dog? No, not a mythical creature, but a real-life legend, a guardian of the Himalayas, a truly majestic breed, the Tibetan Mastiff. Today, we're diving deep into the world of this ancient and powerful dog, a survivor in the truest sense of the word. Imagine a dog with the heart of a lion, bred for centuries in the high, remote mountains of Tibet. This isn't your average household pet. The Tibetan Mastiff was developed to be a protector, guarding monasteries, villages, and nomadic camps against some of the fiercest predators on Earth, like wolves and leopards. Their sheer presence is a deterrent. With a thick lion-like mane around their neck and shoulders, a deep, booming bark that echoes through the valleys, and an imposing size, they command respect. This is a dog that has stared into the eyes of the wild and never backed down. But what truly makes the Tibetan Mastiff so special? It's their incredible intelligence and independent spirit. Unlike many breeds that were bred to follow human commands without question, the Tibetan Mastiff was bred to think for itself. In the dead of night, guarding a flock of sheep on a remote mountain pass, there was no human to give orders. The dog had to assess threats, make decisions, and act on its own. This has resulted in a breed that is incredibly loyal and protective of its family, but also notoriously stubborn and reserved with strangers. They aren't seeking your approval. They are evaluating whether you are a friend or a threat to their domain. Living with a Tibetan Mastiff is a unique experience. It's less like owning a dog and more like having a stoic, furry business partner who is in charge of security. They form incredibly deep bonds with their families, showing a gentle, patient side with children they consider part of their pack. However, their protective instincts are always on high alert. Socialization from a very young age is absolutely critical for this breed. They need to be exposed to many different people, sounds, and situations to learn what is a normal part of life and what is a genuine threat. Without it, their powerful guarding instincts can become a challenge in a modern suburban environment. These dogs are a primitive breed, meaning they retain many of the traits of their ancient ancestors. They typically only have one heat cycle per year, much like wild canids like wolves. They also go through a massive shedding event, or blowing their coat once a year, where they lose their dense winter undercoat. For a few weeks, it's a fur storm, but for the rest of the year, their grooming needs are surprisingly moderate. A good brushing once or twice a week is usually enough to keep their magnificent coat in good shape. The history of the Tibetan Mastiff is as epic as the mountains they come from. It's believed that they are one of the oldest dog breeds in the world, the ancestor to many of today's Mastiff-type breeds. Legends surround them. It's said that both Genghis Khan and Lord Buddha had Tibetan Mastiffs with them on their journeys. When Marco Polo traveled through Asia in the 13th century, he described these dogs as being tall as a donkey, with a voice as powerful as a lion. For centuries, they remained isolated in the Himalayas, their bloodlines kept pure by the rugged, inaccessible terrain. It wasn't until the mid-20th century that the breed began to make its way to the Western world, often as gifts to foreign dignitaries. The first Tibetan Mastiffs arrived in the United States in the 1950s, but didn't gain a real foothold until the 1970s. Since then, dedicated breeders have worked to preserve the health, temperament, and majestic appearance of this ancient guardian. However, this rarity and their legendary status have also made them a target for hype. You may have seen headlines about Tibetan Mastiffs selling for astronomical prices, but responsible breeders are focused on finding the right homes, not setting price records. They want owners who understand and respect the breed's unique nature. So, is a Tibetan Mastiff the right dog for you? This is a crucial question. They are not a breed for a first-time dog owner. They require a confident, patient, and consistent leader who understands their independent mindset. They need a securely fenced yard, and I mean securely. A 6-foot fence is a minimum, as they can be skilled climbers and diggers when motivated. They are not apartment dogs. They thrive in a home with space to patrol their territory. And while they are intelligent, training a Tibetan Mastiff is a negotiation. You need to build a relationship based on mutual respect, using positive reinforcement. Forceful methods will only be met with more stubbornness. They will obey you because they respect you, not because they fear you. The health of the Tibetan Mastiff is generally robust, as befits a breed forged in a harsh environment. However, like all large breeds, they can be prone to certain conditions like hip and elbow dysplasia, thyroid issues, and some eye problems. Choosing a reputable breeder who performs health screenings on their breeding stock is the most important step you can take to ensure you get a healthy puppy. A well-cared-for Tibetan Mastiff can live for 10 to 14 years, offering a decade or more of quiet, steadfast companionship and unparalleled security. The modern Tibetan Mastiff is a living link to an ancient past, a symbol of strength, loyalty, and survival. They are the lion who has not only survived the jungle, but has thrived, adapting from the desolate peaks of the Himalayas to loving homes around the world, all while retaining the noble spirit that makes them one of the most awe-inspiring breeds on the planet. They are more than just a dog. They are a legacy, a guardian, a legend walking among us. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the world of the incredible Tibetan Mastiff. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about amazing dog breeds, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. We'll see you in the next one.